So according to Dave Burkett, it's a lot of stuff to talk about, man. But big news coming from the Detroit Lions, and this came out about an hour ago. The Detroit Lions roster moves. They placed running back Craig Reynolds on injured reserve. They signed wide receiver Stanley Berryhill to the practice squad. Okay. We picked him up a couple of weeks ago. Had him come and work out. We picked him. It was him and another receiver. They worked out. And now he's on the team. Well, practice squad, that is. Trinity Benson. Wow, wait a minute. Hold the phone here. Trinity Benson was signed to the Lions active roster. Now, if you don't remember, one of Brad Holmes' first moves last offseason, right before the season started. It was after the preseason, but before the season, if I remember correctly, the Detroit Lions picked up Trinity Benson from the Denver Broncos. But they didn't just pick him up. They traded for him. They traded a 5th and a 7th, and they got Trinity Benson and a 7th or something like that, right? We actually get Trinity Benson's pick this coming draft. Dave says, what happened to Craig Reynolds? Craig Reynolds broke his ribs, according to report. Shout out to Mr. Poole. I don't remember the hit. Notifications are just going out. Come on, YouTube. I don't remember the actual hit because when I'm doing these games, man, it's hard for me to kind of observe everything. But he took a hit. He was out, so he broke his ribs. Injured reserve means he's gone for 4 weeks minimum. So who's going to step up, right? And that sucks because Craig Reynolds is a solid running back. But I think the biggest news of the day is the signing of Trinity Benson from the Denver practice squad to the Detroit Lions active roster. Now, again, we get Trinity Benson's pick this year, a 7th rounder, I believe. I have to look at Tankathon and see. Okay? The story of Trinity Benson is a unique one. We trade for him from the practice squad roster of the Denver Broncos. We get him and the pick coming later this year. We give them a 5th and a 7th. We might even have a 6th round pick. But that's right, because we don't have a 7th round pick this year. So we got Trinity Benson and a 6th this coming year for a 5th and a 7th last year. Trinity Benson is then cut from the Detroit Lions. He is then picked up by the Denver Broncos as these two teams are playing tag team with this man. Picked up by the Denver Broncos, signed to their practice squad. Now, if a team gets a player from a practice squad, the team that currently has him can elevate him to the active roster in order to save him from being scooped by the new team. Denver doesn't do that. Detroit Lions signed Trinity Benson from the practice squad of the Denver Broncos to the active roster for the Detroit Lions. Now, that concerns me. Why does that concern me? Who do you think Trinity Benson is going to replace? Because I have an idea, and I hate it. I have an idea. I believe that Trinity Benson is going to bingo. What's up, Vision? What's up, Nick and Zay? Zay, you hit it right on the head, bro. So you get the Trinity Benson is going to replace Josh Reynolds. Cephas is on IR, if I'm not mistaken. We've seen him, I don't know how many times we've seen him this year. So if you're just now joining us, Trinity Benson has returned to the Detroit Lions, elevated to the active roster. We still have a 6th round pick for him coming up this year. So I got to say right now, the Trinity Benson trade is right back in our face. That leads me to believe that Josh Reynolds will not be placed on injured reserve, but will not be playing this game. We move Craig Reynolds from the active roster to IR. That clears up a space for Trinity Benson. Trinity Benson will be playing in my opinion, this Sunday for the Detroit Lions in Chicago. David says, right, Josh Reynolds or DJ Chark. Well, DJ is on injured reserve. He should be able to come off in maybe a week or two, maybe longer than that. So DJ Chark, we might not even see him this year. To be honest with you, him and Jameson Williams could possibly come back at the same time. Jake says, Josh has a back problem. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. It kept him out of last game, and it is going to. And here's why I think they went back to go Trinity Benson. We talk about all the time how Jared Goff must have chemistry. He must have some type of confidence in his receivers, right? Now, I don't think that Trinity Benson is that much of a difference maker at all, right? But he's got some type of chemistry. Jared Goff has some type of rapport with Trinity Benson as to my opinion, why Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell decided to go out and re-sign this guy. Because Josh Reynolds is not going to be here. Lions says, okay, I see you, Lions. Zay says, as long as we have Amon-Ra, we can still move the change. Jamal and Swift will probably still be limited. Well, as far as I know, Zay, Jamal is solid, but Swift, yes. Expect Swift to be limited for at least 4 weeks. Like, real talk. Because the way that they're trying to ease him in, it'd probably be a while before we see him, like, get full carries. If 4 carries was too many carries 2 weeks ago, then he might get 10. But let me know what you think about the return of the hero training camp here. I have never seen a man bounce between 2 teams with 0 input, meaning he is a non-factor. He was on the Denver Broncos practice squad. He couldn't even crack our active roster, and he's been elevated to the active roster, so that means that we are in trouble as far as receivers. Just think, we had one of the deepest receiver rooms when we started the season, and I believe that this is another reason why Jameson Williams will be back. I'm telling you, for those of you who didn't want to respect Josh Reynolds in his game and how much he meant to this team, you're going to see it. You saw it last week. You're going to see it. Trinity Benson should be playing for the Detroit Lions this coming Sunday in Chicago. Let me know what you think in the comments below.